Alright, today's video is going to be a little bit different, but that's going to happen from time to time because I got big dreams, kids, and I don't have time for more than one YouTube channel. So my wife, for the sake of this video, we'll call her Sarah. So my wife, Sarah, and I, we have two small children. We have a rambunctious 3-year-old and a perpetually teething 10-month-old. Now our 3-year-old, he loves dogs, and we just so happen to have two small dogs. The problem is they're very old and they're not very playful. They're not mean, they're just not playful. So for my son's 3rd birthday party a couple months ago, we got him a puppy.
Hey, look! Look!
Now I know what you're saying, and I guess we are gluttons for punishment, but he loves that puppy, and one day it'll be his best friend, so I guess it's all worth it. Now one thing that we've noticed over the last couple months, as temperatures have started dropping, is the puppy likes to go outside more and more often. It's a cool weather dog. It likes to be out in the cool. Now, I mean, it's not freezing cold here yet or anything, but when we first got her a couple months ago, we were experiencing temps up to like 100 degrees. Now it's more like 30 to 60. So, I mean, nothing crazy yet. But we have noticed that she likes to be outside. She'll come inside and play for a little bit, and then 10 minutes later, she'll be right back at the back door crying just to go outside and play. It's not like she's out there barking or anything. She's just out there playing. Now, because of all these things, because of the small kids, because of the dogs, nap time and bedtime are sacred times in our house. I mean, we even have a sign on our door urging people not to knock or ring the doorbell, just in case the kids are sleeping, because a knock on the door equals dogs barking, equals babies waking up. So last Saturday evening, it was about time to start our bedtime ritual. Now our nighttime ritual includes my wife taking Olive, the 10-month-old, into the other room, calming her down and getting her to sleep and putting her in her crib. At that time, I'm trying to calm down the 3-year-old Elliot in my big comfy chair, where he'll often fall asleep and then we'll just move him to the bed. Most of the time it works, but it takes dedication and a quiet house. So like I said, last Saturday evening, it was almost time to start the ritual, and the puppy wants to go outside and play. So at that time, the temperature was around 50 degrees. So rather than have her cry at the back door, I went ahead and let her go outside and play. Sarah takes Olive into the other room, and I get Elliot situated on the big comfy chair. Well, it was one of those evenings where everything was working. Not only could I not hear Olive in the other room crying, Elliot was asleep, and even I was starting to doze off myself. All of a sudden, however, I was startled and awake. Now, you know when you're just starting to fall asleep and you think you hear a noise, but you're not sure if you really heard it? You might have just been dreaming it. That was what happened here. So at this time, there was no dogs barking, Olive wasn't crying still, and Elliot was still asleep. I thought I dreamed it. A couple seconds later, there is an unmistakable pounding on our front door. So I jump up as quickly as I can, and I go to the door, look outside the window, and there's a police officer on the other side. I've made it through all these years of my life and have never had a knock on my door and on the other side be a police officer. But I guess there's a first for everything. So I open the door and the officer informs me that a neighbor has called them because our small puppy has been outside all day and all night and we haven't been home at all. This is the farthest thing from the truth. So I explain that to the officer and he kind of laughs and he goes on his way. The entire interaction took probably 15 seconds. Mind you, dogs are going crazy. Somehow Elliot and the baby still aren't awake. So we got lucky there. But it was just an odd little situation. Granted, not the end of the world, but it disrupted a sacred routine and we were going to get to the bottom of it. We needed to find out who called the cops. So it was time to review the suspects. If you look here, this is everyone that can see into our backyard. This is us right here, ground zero. You can tell because of the sad little puppy dog that lives here. These dotted lines here, these are fenced in backyards. So as you can see, we have a fenced in backyard. The people behind us have a fenced in backyard. Our neighbors on this side have a fenced in backyard. And these people all the way over here have a fenced in backyard. Everyone else's yards are open. Now with 3 quick text messages, we were able to rule out 3 people. These neighbors, the people across into the corner, and the people across into this corner. That leaves the people directly behind us, the neighbors on this side, and this random outlier right here. Now, I'll be honest, we felt better that it wasn't any of these 3 people because these are the people that my wife knows and talks to. When we put a little thought into it, we decided that these people have a dog that is outside most of the time. I doubt very much they would call the police because the dog was outside. Also, the lady that lives right here has a newborn baby, and our recent experience tells us that she probably doesn't have time to be spying on her neighbors, so we'll go ahead and mark her off for now as well. That just leaves this one house here, which was kind of our suspicion to begin with. But it's odd because we never see them outside, and we've only spoken a couple times in the last few years, and we've definitely never seen them in their backyard, so we don't know why they would have noticed or why they would have cared. And honestly, they're kind of weird, so if it was them, we didn't really care. Case wasn't exactly closed, but we were feeling better about things. Now, one last thing I do want to mention is keep this house in mind right here. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so now we made it into Sunday. We should be feeling better, but we're both still kind of uneasy. And the poor little puppy is spending a lot of time at the back door crying because we're just a little uncomfortable letting her out. And I mean, honestly, it's a shame that we had to feel that way. But we still don't know for sure who called the cops, and we really don't want them beating down our door again. I can tell it's really bugging Sarah, but I'm trying to do my job as a husband and just trying to calm her down and get her mind off of it. Fast forward to Monday. Do you remember that house that I told you to remember? The lady that lives there sends Sarah a message saying that they just had a lady knock on their door asking how well they know their neighbors. And there was more to it, but I think you understand the gist of it. Obviously, our neighbor told her to kick sand, and she was on her way. The thing is, our neighbor didn't recognize this lady, and she announced herself as another neighbor. It was time to look at the evidence again. Okay, since this neighbor didn't recognize the person that knocked on their door, that means it's no one in these houses. We took a good look out our back door and saw something that we failed to notice earlier. Way over here was another house with a porch taller than anyone else's privacy fence. Now, there's only one reason that you would need a porch that tall, and that's to lord over the entire neighborhood. I think we have our prime suspect. So now we have our prime suspect, and there was no stopping Sarah. From taking the gamble, she opens up her voice memo app on her watch and makes the trek over. 23 minutes later, she's back at home, and she has found the culprit. Case closed. Now, I'm not going to play the entire conversation. I mean, I'm sure there's privacy issues, and it's just too long. But this first part here is pretty golden, I think.
Hi. I just needed to know, did you call the cops?
Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm the owner of the puppy.
Oh, could you please come
No,
in?
I can't come in.
Now, I guess there's a couple points to this video. One, don't be a nosy neighbor. Don't be a busybody. And if you are a nosy busybody, knock on the person's door yourself. Be an adult. People will respect you so much more. And two, I'm just proud of Sarah. She didn't let it go, and she got to the bottom of it. And now little Sammy gets to run and play in the fenced-in backyard all she wants. Alright guys, so like I said, this isn't my normal kind of video, but it's something that I just wanted to get off my chest and to let Sarah know that I'm proud of her. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will get back to the regular content now. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.